Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Andrew LowSutea present. First of all, I want to thank you very much for joining me this webinar. I noticed, saw many of old friends here from my screen. Thanks, Edwina. Appreciate you actually joining us again. Maybe you can also give me a one if you can, give me that one. I can know that you are hear me clearly. That'll be great. And also, there's a lot of people joining from Facebook also. I appreciate that. Well, anyway, the reason why I doing this program for losing weight, what barrier you get. Wow, that is actually important. The reason is that a lot of people don't realize if you have a very heavy weight, it's really hard to manage your insulin, make sure there's no resistance. And on top of that, they're also difficult to manage your A1C. So a lot of people don't realize that. And they thought that, well, what is relation? So today you have a lot better understanding. When you have overweight, first of all, you are very heavy, bad for your joint, bad for cardiovascular system. So a lot of things is not as good as you want to think. So that's why losing your weight is very important. Now, however, it's very interesting. I have a lot of clients who has really good that they start losing their weight, they're good. Then later on, you know what? They stop doing things. Then the weight go back up, and then the A1C is not start deteriorating. So really, at the end of the day, you really got to basically continue this program and continue to work on your weight and continue to make sure that you do not give up. Because if you don't give up, you will continue to increase your, lower your weight. The A1C continue to be good and improving, and your body is lighter, so everything move much faster, easier, and your health become better because in order for you to lower your weight, there's several things you got to do. You have to have proper dieting, meaning that you're not going to start eating a lot of carbs. Your calories are well maintained. On top of that, because you're doing exercise every day, wow, that's make all the difference. So when you do exercise every day, your circulation is better, using up your insulin better, using your sugar better, so everything will be better health. So that is why today the program, I thought that give you an overview, so you under all the rationale behind that, so you continue to maintain and to be motivated to continue your lower weight program, because continue weight lower program, you will be much healthy. So I'm going to start my lecture today and go from there. Topic today is weight loss, what barrier for pediatric diabetics. In other words, what I'm saying is a lot of time you want to get your weight loss program started, and you will probably say, hey, I did pretty well, I can get my weight loss program doing, right? But unfortunately, a lot of time that when you start doing that, you somehow, without knowing correctly, after a while, you have a lot of success. But a lot of time, I think majority of my clients was not able to maintain the success for a long period of time, and they need to be encouraged again, review the step plan. So after that, they say, that's what I have. And a lot of time, like for example, sometimes that including myself, I start losing weight from 220 pounds all the way to 200. And then I thought, oh, I'm successful. But see, for a short time, I kind of think that, well, I'm successful, so I can be a little bit more free and do a lot more funny things and eat a lot more stuff. Then end up the weight is start going up again. So really, you have to continue monitor and continue to sort of motivate for yourself. So make sure you don't get some slack. After slack, you will lose some of the weight. You are not going to lose some of the weight. You actually will reverse and gaining some weight. So that's why today I thought today's webinar will help you out. Tell you what is the barrier, why your weight sometimes you lose sometime after you get back up, and how do you continue to maintain. And that's today's program. I think it's going to be a very good program. So really want to first discuss is why so important losing weight for pre-diabetic, diabetic. Because really losing a weight, you definitely can help you to maintain better health and also help you to maintain better blood sugar levels, and everything you do is really there. And so and then also you have to understand what is the common weight loss barrier, why people somehow could not get the weight down, and how do you overcome this barrier, and how LowSutea can help. And so today we'll give you sort of the big picture and give you some specific, so net result when you get out there, then you know how to act and able to continue maintain and lower your weight. Now, lower weight definitely is very important. As long as you get older, you have more and more difficult lower weight. So that's why lower weight becomes so important. Now, certainly what I'm trying to do also, I noticed a lot of today were a lot of people that I don't know in the participant. Most likely these are new people. So I like to catch up with everybody. So as you know, everybody goes through 4 stages of diabetes. And what is that 4 stage? First of all, your LDL cholesterol goes up. And when LDL cholesterol goes up, you damage the B cells where the insulin come out, the pancreas come out the B cell, which the B cells will take the sugar to the cells. So the B cell dysfunction, meaning there are no work anymore, the blood sugar continue goes up. Now with that's become a problem because the cholesterol and the blood sugar mix together, they become thickened, and then plaques will become forming throughout the vessel wall. Then very quickly you move to stage 2. Now, when you're stage 2, your plaque vessel has all kind of plaques forming. Now, that's a major problem with diabetes. A lot of people don't realize that. When you're diabetic, major problem is you have all these plaques throughout your body, everywhere, from your brain to your heart, your kidney, everywhere. So this is the problem that you have. If you have plaques long time, and eventually you're going to have all kind of long-term health complications come out. So you want to prevent that to happen. That's the reason why you need to start early. When your cholesterol go up, you have to basically take care of that, lower your cholesterol, lower blood sugar, so you never get to this plaque form, because once it forms, it cannot reverse, as you know. So your second stage, the blood pressure goes up, because when plaque form, you have less space in the vessels, and so net result, your blood pressure starts increasing throughout the body. So if you don't know, you don't do anything, because that will you most likely have no symptom. So you will very quickly to move to stage 3. Stage 3 is when your blood sugar kind of goes up, and then doctor going to start measure your blood sugar. They all measure the same thing called HbA1c. What they do is they measure hemoglobin and measure how many percentage of the sugar, glucose, attached to hemoglobin. If you have 5.7% attached, you're a normal person. If you're over 5.7 and 6.4, you are already called pre-diabetic. And when you're pre-diabetic, you unfortunately have no medication. Doctor will tell you, hey, you are already pre-diabetic, and you need to start changing your lifestyle, lower your blood sugar, and so forth, so on. But unfortunately, you don't really have much incentive, and you really don't really understand. You don't much do anything. So you continue the same lifestyle. So 3 to 4 years, you convert to stage 4, become a full diabetic person. Now, because once you're over 6.4, you become a diabetic person. Now, once you're over 6.4, you cannot reverse back, because the doctor will put in your record you are diabetic. So remember that. Now, unfortunately, when you're pre-diabetic, you have no medication to give you. So really, at the end of the day, one thing can help you is really LowSutea. Why LowSutea? LowSutea has 2 ingredients in there only. One is called guava leaves, which are able to delay the sugar going to the blood vessels, your gut vessels. And then there's bitter melon, which increase the insulin sensitivity, so take back the sugar to the cells. And excess sugar, they will dump it off on urine, cholesterol, and sodium. So sodium, urine, and sugar will dump out from the urine, and that result, sodium goes up, your blood pressure will come down. So 3 high will go down. In other words, your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure will go down, plus a detox. That's why LowSutea definitely can help you. Now, why drink LowSutea then? Beside lower your 3 high. Well, you do lower 3 high, it's helpful, but that is only one part of your lifestyle change. There's several things you have to do. You have to also exercise. Now, that's why exercise is increase your total body circulation, improve health, better use of insulin, and later on we'll talk a lot about that. So we also have a program lots of lecture, teach you about how do you do exercise, 8 to 10,000 steps a day, for example. It's very simple. You can do it anywhere, and you can able to do it, with Step Master. Besides, exercise is very simple. So you do 8 to 10,000 steps a day. Plus, now we talk about very important stuff, weight control. If your BMI is still 30 and above, you got to bring your BMI down to 23. So if you lower your BMI, you actually can lower 1 point of, if you're 10% weight, you lower 1 point of your A1C. So if your A1C is 8, you become 7. So weight is that important. Now, certainly every week you listen to our webinar, we do it for free for you. So you can listen to webinar anytime. We'll also give you replay. Plus, you have to track the blood tracking, meaning that because blood sugar has to be tracked, you have to understand what is your daily blood sugar going to be, what is your fasting blood sugar going to be, after 2 hours of blood sugar going to be, and what is your A1C. Now, many of our friends who are using LowSutea, even the A1C as high as 10%, they drop down to 6 and 5.7. I saw with many of our clients already. And they actually eliminate the medication, also insulin. So that's why really very important. It's so important that you got to take your LowSutea plus your exercise, weight control. And so change your lifestyle. Net result of that, you can be much more healthier. So we will start now talking about why weight lower your weight can be a real big barrier. A lot of people can't do it. Now, actually, as you know, prediabetic and diabetic is a chronic health condition, which is really the important thing is when you take a lot of food and food will change your blood sugar, and then your blood sugar will continue to go high, beyond the normal level. So with that, if you don't well control, it will change from pre-diabetic, as I mentioned earlier. If you are earlier with 5.7, when you're pre-diabetic, you become 5.7 to 6.4%, and you don't get that control. Once you're over 6.4, 6.5, you are become a diabetic. So basically, if you don't control in this pre-diabetic stage, you will actually most likely in 3 years or so, you will become a diabetes. So pre-diabetic to diabetic, you really need to manage your lifestyle. Now, if you become diabetic, you have all kinds of health issues like stroke, cardiovascular problem, high blood sugar, all kinds of problems which you don't want to be there. So that's why we want to let you educate you folks, so you have the incentive to do something, so that way you will not get into all these health complications. I want to really see you guys are healthy and live long time and see your grandchildren. Now, importantly, in US, it's very scary because in US there are actually 97.6, I call it 98 million people, age 18 and over, are basically pre-diabetic already because of a health, diet, and weight, all that in there. So you talk about 38% of US adult population are pre-diabetic. Now, if you are 65 in US, they already have about 27 million people, which is older for 65, they are pre-diabetic, meaning that 49% of the 65 years old population are pre-diabetic. So, wow, imagine that. That's a huge, huge number. And diabetes in the US, they already have 38.4 million people with diabetes, which is 11.6% of the US population. And many of those actually are undiagnosed. Where people never being diagnosed are pre-diabetic. So there are really about 9 million people are not known, but at least 30 million people we already know they're diabetic. So they at least know they need to do something. So the prevalence of diabetic in the United States is very high. Now, in Hong Kong, there are about 700,000 people are diabetes and 2.3 million diabetics. So it's still also very high. So everywhere is high. Now, one of the major problems, really obesity, in other words, you are overweight, is really a public problem. and affect millions, and also not only the USA, but the world, okay? WHO say that in 2016, there are 1.9 billion, with a B, adult were overweight, and 650 million people were obese. So really, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people because of that, because they're obese, they're living with type 2 diabetes. Now, type 2 diabetes, you can prevent, you can able to not get there. It's up to you. So if you are pre-diabetic, if you can do all the things that we're talking about today, you might not become a diabetes. So that's really important. So what you want to do is delay the progressions of all your pre-diabetic to type 2 diabetes. So listen to the kind of things that we'll do, how to better manage your blood sugar, weight, and the obesity. It will decrease, and fix your diet and exercise. You will actually prevent yourself become from a pre-diabetic to diabetes. You will just become a continued pre-diabetic. That will be good. Okay. Now you can go back to a normal even better. But the key is not become a type 2 diabetic. Now, this is very important. You keep that in mind. This is something that you have to continue to take all effort to do that. Now, weight loss is actually one of the more important parameter that to change your weight loss. If you can do well, you can prevent yourself from pre-diabetic to diabetes. So if you are able to achieve your weight loss goal, you can actually improve your blood sugar control, you reduce your risk of heart attack, you lower your blood pressure. Now, that's all three high can able to help you to fix this. So really, weight loss are very, very important. So, and on top of that, as you get older, if your weight is less, it's better for your joint. Also, this is an additional benefit. So you don't get a knee pain, you walk better, you move around much better, and you feel much healthier. Now, that is really important. So important weight loss to make sure that you will not get from pre-diabetic to diabetes is very important. So if you don't do it then, okay, you in long term, as I said, if you're able to lose your weight, what will be the long-term benefit for you? Well, first of all, you will delay your progression from pre-diabetic to diabetes. That is more important, right? Because you're now no longer a diabetic. So you get rid of all the risks of, the diabetic complication. Now, also because your weight is lower, your overall quality of life is much better. You move around better. You reduce all the serious complications, and as that is really wonderful because you're not going to have a heart attack. You're less risk of heart attack. You're less risk of stroke, dialysis, hardening artery, all that good stuff. I mean, really all the best stuff that you have, you're supposed to potentially have. Now you don't have it, so that is really wonderful. So now let's talk about what is the common weight loss barrier. In other words, why it's so difficult for me to weight loss, okay? Now, first of all, you have a physical barrier. Now, what does that mean? Because when you have pre-diabetic, it is a challenge. Your body to process the insulin is harder, okay? Now, in other words, what happens if I have a big tummy? A big tummy, I'm overweight. Usually with that, somehow the body have so-called insulin resistance. So the insulin doesn't work well with people who are overweight with big tummy. That's the reason why I love the patient. They ask me, how come I go to the doctor, they measure my weight? So that I have a big weight, but not much of a weight, measure my waist, the inches of waist, and keep saying, wow, your belly is so big. The reason is if your belly is very big, most likely you are going to have insulin resistance. So if insulin resistant, does mean they don't process the insulin that well. So your blood sugar will definitely goes up. Certainly, there are certain medication that have side effect can lead to also weight gain. and which can also complicate your weight loss. I'll give you one good example. Some patient was telling me, hey, I'm taking insulin now, but I don't know why my body, I try to control myself real well. But on the other hand, the insulin continue to give you sugar back to the cells because the insulin are providing that sugar in the cells. So I'm continue getting weight gain. And so really at the end of the day, you have too much insulin and is not managed well, that person actually weight is not gaining. I saw quite a few patients having that, so they have to go back to talk to the doctor, adjust insulin besides the diet to maintain a better weight. So just medication like insulin can increase your weight. Imagine that. Wow, that's terrible, isn't it? So really, at the end of the day, physical barrier is one reason. Now, there's also emotional barrier. Now, what's that mean? Okay, first of all, you are stressed all the time. You're very emotional, stressed at work. You know what could happen? When you're stressed, you trigger your hormone to start eating. And then you start putting chips, putting cookies in your mouth to really lower that stress. So you're not stacking high calories to comfort food to make you decrease your stress. End result, it will make your weight manage so much harder. Now, also another thing is motivation and fatigue. Okay, really at the end of the day, as you know, diabetic or pre-diabetic is a long-term disease. You really have to continue to think about how to manage this. And you have to have a good so-called positive attitude to continue to move on to make sure that you can manage this. So a lot of time, because after a while I say, oh man, is this so tired? So then you got giving yourself excuse. Oh, I don't have time to do this. I'm tired of work. I cannot do exercise. So this is so-called emotional barrier. Now that can be effective. So with that, later I'll give you some skills, tips to how to manage that. Because if you don't manage that, that will continue to bother you, right? Continue to limit your possibility to do better. Now, also there's psychological barrier. A lot of time you also have self-esteem, because of the fact that, wow, I'm already so chubby, and you really do not felt yourself as good enough. You have a negative body image because you are call yourself so fat. And so you really have difficult to stick to a weight loss goal a lot of time because somehow you just don't have the motivation. And also because your habit and things like that, you lack of confidence to continue to motivate yourself. So slow self-esteem also can be an issue for you to as one of the barriers, losing weight. And also certain social environment. If you have a group of people always love to eat, drink, and always all kind of eating habit, snack all around them, you will go out with them all the time, you always have to go eat all this stuff, then you got the same problem to lower your weight because all you need to eat with your friends and to be social, they eat chips, I eat chips, so you just whack up all your entire lose weight plan. And another one is also a lot of people worry that, oh wow, my goodness, if I lose too much weight, I also have possible hypoglycemia. And so a lot of people think that if they are hypoglycemia, they get shaky hand, they worry they reduce food intake, and all kind of things that give them somewhat uncomfortable feeling of possible lower weight. And also you have a dietary challenge. So what does dietary challenge mean? Now, as you know, when you lose weight, you have to actually stick to a dietary guideline, like limit your sugar intake, your carb intake, and healthy fat. And you have to establish this eating habit. I know when you start off, it's not easy because every day you have to eat vegetable. A lot of people are not used to eating vegetable. They found that it would be tough. On top of that, you have to understand nutrition. So in other words, what is a healthy food, for example? What is a balanced meal? How do you control that? And so all these practice has to be in your head, continue to drive you to do that. And also have to maintain a healthy diet. So if you always like to eat out, and that becomes harder because restaurant is not going to, for you to give you something that the kind of things you want to eat. So if you eat a buffet, you really got to control that, right? And so the portion of the buffet, you have to eat very lightly, not to eat everything, not to pick out. If you do that, it's going to be really tough for you. So dietary control, dietary challenge is really can be a challenge, especially a lot of people like snack is going to be a tough one. Now, also exercise barriers. What that mean? Because a lot of people don't like to really necessarily exercise every day. They don't get a habit. So the exercise problem is like they might have physical problem by itself. For example, I have joint pain, my knee hurt, I cannot walk too fast, limited mobility. So net result, if they're limited mobility, they cannot walk. So how do you do exercise? Now, certainly even with that, I have a patient that because of his diabetes, his leg got chopped. So he doing his exercise, sitting on a chair, use a bearing, do this, hand exercise, and he still move his legs up and down, and move half hour or so. So he's still doing it, and it's doing good. So net result is there's weight, but you just have to work on it. And on top of that, also the schedule challenging. In other words, I'm working, I'm a busy executive, I don't have time. My work, family, social, everything demand for me. So I don't have time to go out in a shopping mall for half an hour, 1 hour. I don't have time to do all these. So these are the challenges. Just make sure you just schedule, make a goal, and say, I have to do that. And also they said, oh, I don't have a limited exercise facility. I have no gym, but you really don't need a gym. You basically go to a shopping mall and walk. If you can even, when I talk to some people they're living in Chicago, at home, if they're snowing, they can use a Stepmaster, which bought it for $50 US, and they can actually walk at home with a barbell, walking up like this and doing Stepmaster. They did the same thing, but they can still achieve that, 30-minute to 45-minute exercise every day. So really, at the end of the day, even you have limited exercise facility, you can do it. So exercise barrier can be achievable. So how do you overcome this barrier? Now, first of all, food choice is very important. You really have to do a good meal plan. In other words, the left side, as you see in these pictures, all the McDonald's hamburger, milkshake, Coca-Cola, forget about that. You got to think about all vegetable. So you got to really think about, you have to have simple carbohydrate, meaning that the simple carbohydrate is, you need to think about complex carbohydrate. You don't want to take simple carbohydrate like white sugar, white bread, all that. Complex carbohydrate is like food that is kind of digest slowly. And so you can keep the blood sugar stable. For example, that would be fruit, whole grain, brown rice, oats. All these are complex carbohydrate. It takes time to digest. It doesn't give you spiked blood sugar. The simple carbohydrate would be white sugar. Wow, you spiked sugar. You don't want that. Now, protein is also very important nutrition for people with insulin resistance and Pediatrics. So protein can actually help you to improve your insulin sensitivity, reduce your blood sugar level. So what is good protein? Like beans, lentil, so such other lean protein, that will be white fish, salmon, white meat chicken, all tofu, all these are good protein. It's really good stuff for you, preventing insulin resistance. Now, also you have to go for healthy fats, meaning that you don't want to take fats that is can increase your inflammation. You want to take fat that improve your insulin sensitivity, also decrease the inflammation. So some of the good fats would be avocado, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. I cook all my food now with only olive oil. That's so much better. Now, another thing, coping with carbs is very important. As you know, everybody really looking for good dessert every night. So you have to identify what triggers you to really go for, going to on a snack and so forth. So really you have to figure, I put my snack far, far away from me, so not easy access to get this snack. So you don't have to think about to crave the snack and start thinking of it. So in your normal meal, you want to reduce the carb, the snack craving, okay? So you don't want to eat excess stuff, okay? So for example, if you are watching TV, it will be good to get some celery stick. I've put it in the refrigerator, put it in a plastic box. And when I really feel I need some snacking, I take celery stick. I have a chew on it. It's good fiber, low carbs, and it's also certified that craving. And so those are good healthy food to help you control blood sugar. Oh, excuse me, I'm a little allergy today. So make sure that, excuse me. And if you are really stressed, either do some deep breathing exercise, meditation to reduce the stress. Because stress will help to get you to eat more sweet, get you more snack. So that way you really become overweight because of that. Now, also another thing too, your meal has to plan ahead of time. Cannot just take it as go. So you need to talk to your dietitian, your doctor, diabetic educator to create a personalized diabetic meal for you or pre-diabetic meal for you. Now, there's a lot of nutritional food around can easily have you, and a tremendous amount of information from website, internet, and get you all kind of recipe to help you with low carb, and you stick to it. Now, it's okay to make some mistake, or even okay to occasionally have a couple really treat, but it's all right. But importantly is long term, you continue maintain a good diabetic, pre-diabetic diet. And I said it's very simple. Half a plate are all salad, all green. And quarter a plate is all your fish, white meat, and lean pork, whatever, but no red meat. And a quarter plate will be your red rice, brown rice, or beans. So all that can be really good for you to just easy plan. And basically, if you do that, you are so easy. And you can see this plate, a lot of vegetable, fish, and brown rice. Now, and then also another thing, you can also have all kind of health food swap. Instead of going to a regular pasta, you can go whole wheat pasta. A lot of places now sell whole wheat pasta, which you can easily find. And you can also find what they call cauliflower rice, and that's really good because white rice is high carbs. Cauliflower rice is very little carbs. And then you have mindful eating, meaning that you slowly eat each bite at a time, listen to your body, hunger, to make not overcome, just put everything food in your mouth real fast. But eating fast, you can overeat. And you try to cook at home as much as you can, and because you're at home, you control all your ingredient and your portion of the size. And you can also look at all the internet, all kind of easy, good recipe that help you to lower your carbs and lower your cholesterol. Now, as I mentioned, you can actually do strength training exercise all the time. The reason is if you do muscle exercise, it increases the muscle glucose storage. When you strengthen your muscles, they store more glucose, blood sugar into the muscles. And when you need it, they get released back to the bloodstream. So net result, your blood sugar doesn't go spike. So better glucose utilization is very important. So try to get your glucose to come from muscles. So how do you do that? So basically, you have to increase the muscle mass. Now, increase muscle mass is basically do some muscle exercise. So what that do is you can very easy while you're doing your step master, for example. I use my barbell and I do this up and down, up and down. So you can actually enhance your upper body muscles very easily. And walk, you go steps, up and down steps. And this strength training able to improve your muscle and uptake more glucose into the muscles. So in the future, you need to have it to release back from the muscle, which help you to maintain a better blood sugar level, and then it will not get you big sugar spike. So really, at the end of the day, strength training exercise is most important. Help you to increase your muscle mass, and then it'll give you more instant sensitivity. That way, muscle tissue will facilitate able to give you more glucose when you need to use it. They give you sugar from the muscle rather than from fats, and that's not good. Okay. So really, at the end of the day, that will be something. That's why going to strength exercise using a barbell to help you will be important to increase your muscle mass. Okay, to get you more muscle. Now, also there are other practical tip to strengthen for your strength training exercise for pre-diabetic diabetics. Now, a lot of people don't realize. They say, wow, it's so hard. I can't walk so fast. I can't do strength exercise by barbell and step master. I can't do that. But that's all right. Do it gradually, because you can do it with lightweight. Like me, I started off with only like half a pound on barbell. Very fast, I can change it to 1 pound, and now I'm going 2 pounds. So up to you. So start gradually. And also, you could increase all kind of variety exercise. Don't do one single thing. The key is you have to consistent. So in other words, you have to do at least 2 or 3 times a week, and you have to maintain, do 30 minutes, 45 minutes, eventually 1 hour. And you have to prioritize the program, combine strength exercise and also walking exercise, and do it like that. And you can able to maintain this strength exercise. The weight exercise is very important to build your muscle mass. Now, also it's important to consult with the doctors. Like, for example, some people who have heart condition, you might not able to do that. So talk to your doctor. You also take a look at the blood sugar, make sure that after exercise, pre and post, make sure that it doesn't really lower your blood sugar tremendously, and make sure that you are able to do the exercise with proper blood sugar levels. Also, your footwear is important. Don't do exercise with slippers. Do it with the shoes, because you don't want to get injury. Plus, you might also have certain medication to be adjusted, and make sure that after exercise you don't get hypoglycemia, meaning your blood sugar went down. And so that's something you have to check and maintain. Now, also very important, you have to get your family to support you. Really, at the end of the day, when your friend and family motivate you, wife continue to work with you, or walking with you, that becomes very good, because especially pre-diabetic patient, if you have emotion support with a loved one, understand you, give you empathy, you're tremendous encouraged, you will do more, and your condition will continue to become better. And also, it's very important, when you have family support, your meal plan, everything, it will do better. And you can manage your dietary also much easier and so forth. So at the end of the day, really continue to use LowSutea, because all my clients now use LowSutea was able to lower their blood sugar. That's the most important. Second, they also lower bad cholesterol, many of them from high cholesterol all the way down especially LDL cholesterol. That's the key. Lower LDL cholesterol, and also lower the blood pressure, because if they lower the high blood sugar, they lower the bad cholesterol, the blood pressure usually also go down. So continue to do that. So really, at the end of the day, let's conclude. Proper weight management is a key to have better blood sugar control. If you lower your weight, you definitely will reduce your blood sugar. Most likely your cholesterol will fall through if you drink LowSutea, and also your blood pressure will come down if you drink LowSutea. Also, with that, you'll reduce all kind of complications, and you will not come from pre-diabetic, become a diabetes. And that's the whole objective. You don't want to get yourself from pre-diabetic to diabetes, because if you're a diabetic, you have all kind of problem come. So our whole goal is, if you're pre-diabetic, don't get you to be a diabetes. Now, if you are already diabetes, you will reverse back to pre-diabetic. Don't go back up to diabetes. That's the most important, is your goal. And weight loss will help you for diabetic management, prevent you from any kind of long-term health complication. It will give you all kind of benefit. If you're able to overcome the weight loss, you'll be very successful weight loss management. Your blood sugar will it will be always, for sure, will be actually continue to lower and able to progress, continue in good health. Now, certainly you have to take care of certain things. You have to tackle your psychological barrier, your stress, all that thing, and self-confidence. All that things has to work on. So the work on that is basically positive thinking, support by your family, meditation, exercise. All that will help you to change the psychological barriers. And that's very important. And also make sure you continue to educate yourself, look at the website, looking for new recipe, better diet management. And so net result, you will have a lasting of diet choice to better weight control. So if you're able to help your family support, including your psychological support, getting your family, and also your emotional support from family, and most likely you're able to achieve the mental challenge that you will continue to face during this progress from pre-diabetic to diabetes. You want to make sure you continue to be healthy, lower your weight, and really with family support, and you can overcome the mental challenge. Most likely your weight definitely will come down. And if weight come down, most likely definitely your diabetes will improve and change to pre-diabetic. If you're pre-diabetic, you don't go to diabetes. And your blood sugar, your cholesterol, your blood pressure will definitely improve, and you'll be always healthy as we move on. So today, that's our lecture. I hope that will give you a good overview, give you all the point that to allow you to better understanding, how to lower your weight and what's the barrier. And if you have barrier, what do you do? Very important, really have to be diet, exercise. Remember that. You have to lose at least 10% of your weight in order to achieve better blood sugar level. And on top of that, you have to exercise with weight exercise. It's very important. And so if you have any question, write to me, Andy@wahfong.com, ANDY@WAHFONG.com, or WhatsApp us, 852-3001-5644. So let us know, because we'd love to hear from you. A lot of people do write to me by email, and we always answer them. And it was very good. They share their problem, and that result, we have always a good communication and help them to better understand where they're at and help them to improve health. Okay, thank you very much again for helping us or joining us. I very appreciate that, your participation, and we'll see you next week. You take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.